This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So on the show today, we have a wonderful guest, dear friend, lender extraordinaire, and a future Ironman.
Snappy dresser.
Half Ironman, yeah. Snappy dresser.
Father of two.
Mr. JJ Mack.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Johnny.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you so much for
Do you
being
guys
back on
find
the
it
show.
interesting because you're good friends that you both have the same JJ initials? Because you could actually be called, because you're Johnny Jennings.
Yeah.
So it's JJ and JJ.
Yeah. In fact, that was one of the nicknames. So it was either going to be Jack or JJ for our oldest, because his name's John. And
what does JJ represent for you?
My name is Jonathan, so people used to call me John, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See? Oh, come on. It was meant to be.
And so anyways, we were going JJ or Jack, and I think everybody just kind of leaned towards Jack. And so, yeah, so
There you
JJ
go.
gets to keep he's the only JJ in the group.
There we go.
So, but today we have a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to be talking about lending. That's the hot topic right now with the Fed and Donald Trump and interest rates and what the difference is between what companies like yours offer versus those big banks. Because quite frankly, I am sick and tired of hearing about, well, I bank at Wells Fargo. I bank at Chase. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're making me want to run out of a freaking 12-story building and just jump out the window. Because people just don't understand how that hurts them. So when we talk about that, when we're talking about how buyers are making Valerie cry. Valerie literally cried this Sunday. First thing,
Wow.
great way to start the day.
Can we start off there?
We start there. We're going to be talking about advertising and how we're going to be, how you can help, how a good agent should be getting their name out there, because the more people that know that they exist, the better deals you can get.
Yep.
And maybe, if we have time, we might be touching on should interest rates drop. There's a little bit of a difference between the Mac attack and myself on that. So where did you want to start, Matt?
Well, what piqued my interest is your wife. Did you say a client made her cry, or who made her cry? Well, tell us the story. What happened over the weekend?
So what happened was the top agent on our team right now, Miss Haley Bolger. She's incredible. In fact, she's doing so well, she decided to take, I think, a 2-week vacation to Europe. And she has like 5 escrows going. Good for her, right? Good for her. She's got 5 escrows going. And so Valerie's helping her out while she's gone with these escrows. Well, one of the buyers so Haley's representing the seller. One of the buyers made an offer. They were in an escrow, and the buyer got cold feet. JJ knew a little bit about the situation, so we were talking about it, and the buyer just pulled out. And so when Valerie received the news, it is now her job to go and tell the seller that the buyer no longer wants their house. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine how emotional that is when, it's almost like
that happens.
It does,
right?
But you have all
it's
your
not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, but you have like all these plans depending on the situation. How long was the house on the market? Was this the only buyer? When is my house going to sell? What's it going to sell for? Why don't people like my house? I loved it. I've been living here. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it had already been in escrow?
And it was in escrow.
Oh, okay.
For a while, too. It wasn't just like yesterday. It was
Yeah. So like
been for a few weeks.
And it wasn't like the financing didn't come through or anything like that, right?
Nope, because JJ was the loan officer on that one. So we knew that this person could qualify for this house. But for one reason or another, they decided to exercise one of their contingencies and back out of the deal. And so Valerie had to call this woman, and it's Sunday morning. My dad's visiting, the kids are doing their thing. We're trying to have a fun family day, and it starts off 8:30 in the morning. Valerie has to pick up the phone and call the seller, and that seller cried 3 different times during that phone call.
Is this an older person?
I honestly don't know anything about them.
Oh, okay.
I just saw Valerie walk into the room, and she's like, "Hey, I got to do this." She walks back out, and she's just devastated. Didn't impact her at all. It wasn't even her deal.
Right.
But just the emotional toll of experiencing what that woman was going through, it's really horrible. So when a buyer makes an offer on a house, like make sure that you're really right, JJ.
Sure.
Make sure you're ready to commit to that house. This isn't like, let's just dip my toe in the water. This impacted the buyer's agent's family, JJ's family, Haley's family, my family, the seller's family. Like, this has impacted multiple people because that person, for one reason or another, said, hey, you know what? This might not be the best house for me.
Right.
I get making the best decision for yourself, right? And if something comes up, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't exercise your contingencies, but if you just get if you're not ready to see the process through, don't waste people's time. That is just unprofessional.
But it seems like they went into escrow, they arranged for financing, right? You thought they were committed, right, JJ?
Yes, very much so.
So sometimes that just happens. I think kudos to Valerie for making that connection and having that empathy, right? That's what you want from someone you're working with. You want them to be able to understand your situation. Yeah. And absolutely, it can be very emotional. This is a huge, like you just said, this is a huge deal. But also you can be encouraged that it's not the end of the story, right?
It's not. But I'm just seeing this with more frequency right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think buyers are just a little nervous. They're nervous about what's happening in the market, and I get that. But before and it cost them money. Like, they hadn't. I think they'd paid for inspections and stuff.
Oh, really?
And appraisal. Like, there was money in this, and so if you're considering making a move, make sure you understand why you're making the move. Make sure you understand what's involved with the move. Make sure you understand and everything that's involved before you start down this journey, because it's not a good look. And then it makes it harder for your agent to get you a good deal in the next home if you have that reputation.
But also, I think the biggest thing I get out of this whole thing is just it's evident of the type of person that Valerie is and your whole team, how much you care, because that's what people want in the people they work with. They want something like that. Yep. Hey, Valerie showed that she cared about this, even though it wasn't her deal. She cared about this just as much as that homeowner did, and I think that to me is a big win, to show that, hey, our heart is in this, and this is the type of people you work with, people who care.
Yep, people
that's
who
important.
Care. And that's why, honestly, that's one of the reasons why we use JJ Mack with American Pacific Mortgage, is because he's a local lender. Like, I can't overemphasize the value in that. He's not just a random person at Chase Bank. He's not just a random person at Wells Fargo. He's not somebody across the country working for Rocket Mortgage, right? Yeah. And so another quick story, like along the lender side, was somebody was pre-approved with a bank, rhymes with Chase, and turns out they were not pre-approved. They went into escrow. They were not pre-approved. The lender did not do their job. The income was not verified correctly. And so a couple days into this, it's like, oh, wait, you can't actually afford to buy this house. It's like, well, you should have gone with somebody who knows what they're doing. That's why we recommend JJ Mack. And that's not unique to the banks. They're just not as good. What have you seen on the bank side, JJ? Because you deal with this more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about a bank, you're talking about somebody, a loan officer, I'll say that with a grain of salt. Yeah, because there's not really are they really loan officers? When you work for a bank like that, you do not need to go and get licensed.
Really?
You're not taking a test, no. The bank holds a different kind of license. The federal regulations are different. They do not need to go through and take the test and do the things like I did when I went and got my NMLS license and had to be a loan officer. So is that person actually qualified to go do a mortgage? I would say no, they're not. And so for me, it's all about making sure the client is happy with the process, because if they're not, all of a sudden that means they're not going to come back to me in the future. They're not going to send me their client, their friends, their family, their clients they work with every day, whatever. So for me and you, it's on our best interest to make sure they get the very best service, the best deal, everything going forward.
Agreed.
So does it come down to that, the best deal? Are most people going with those larger banks because they think they're going to get the best interest rate?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people think that, and they also think the ease of going to my bank. And that's the biggest thing. It's like, I'm just going to go to my bank. They already have my info. They already have my bank accounts. I don't need to worry about it. But in reality, you and I both know, Johnny, this client you're talking about, it took them over a week and a half to get pre-approved, and they weren't even really pre-approved. Mm-hmm. In reality, that person comes to us. We have them pre-approved in usually less than 24 hours. because we know what we're doing, we know what we need to ask for, and as long as the client is committed, we're committed to them and moving forward quickly.
Yep, I would say, yeah, money's a factor in this, but people are more motivated by pain, and that pain of like submitting your application to like a Wells Fargo or a Chase, it is just brutal. And then you have to wait forever, and then you're not sure what's going on, and then they want one more thing. Whereas like with JJ, it's done in one day. I mean, it can take longer, right? We're not pressuring you. We're not a pressure. JJ's not a pressure salesperson.
No.
Right? But if you want to move fast, if you wanted to make it easy, it's absolutely painless. And most people don't realize that.
And at the end of the day, they're not getting a better deal, actually.
It's the painful thing.
There's a reason why the Chase banks and the Bank of Americas have a lot of money. Well, they charge a lot of money usually to do things. And so when you're talking about getting pre-approved with a big bank, they usually do have higher interest rates. They usually do have higher costs. And so a lot of people think they don't. They usually do.
They do. And they're I'm just frustrated right now. And so if you feel any anger or any
yeah.
any animosity, coming across the from me, it's because people just don't understand that, like how it's day and night, the difference between JJ Mack and a traditional lender. Like another example would be like, how many times has somebody not been able to get pre-approved, JJ, with a different lender, and then they come to you and you're like, oh, well, let's do this.
Yeah, it happens often. Every single week we have a few people that come to us and, well, I really wanted to buy this $700,000 house, and I didn't get pre-approved. My real estate agent said I should try a different lender. So here I am. Oh, well, you are pre-approved. They didn't use this income, or they didn't realize that you could do this non-QM type loan. Or
What's QM mean?
Qualified mortgage.
So for those people who are listening, what's non-QM versus QM?
So non-QM loan would be something more along like what traditional financing would be, like a conventional loan. A non-qualified mortgage would be where you have not Fannie Mae, not Freddie Mac, but a different investor coming in and insuring that loan. Somebody that you're going to have a slightly less higher standards than the Fannie Mae and Freddie Macs of the world.
So what's an example of somebody who came in, couldn't get like a Fannie or Freddie loan, and then they went with you? Do you have any stories you can share around that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one right now that just got qualified with us. They are a commission-paid employee. They've only been getting commission for 1 year. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac usually says they want 2 years of commission.
Yep.
This loan officer, and again, I'll air quote that loan officer, said, oh, sorry, I can't qualify you. You're going to have to wait another year. Man, what a mistake that was. We got their income. We look at their commission for the last year. It's been very consistent. It's actually been trending upwards. We're able to get them into a home today. Can you imagine waiting a year, the 4 or 5% equity growth that they could have been receiving over this next 12 months?
Yep.
And then realizing, what, I could have been qualified this whole time?
Yeah.
And then all that rent they would have been paying out for nothing? Crazy amount. And so I think this is a benefit to them, and it's really going to help their growth and be able to go buy their next home and several other things in the future.
Yeah, it just kickstarts it. You don't have to wait a year. But that happens all the time.
All the time.
JJ is the fixer. If we have a deal falling apart, we're like, and he's not doing the loan, we're always like, hey, JJ, I know I'm representing the seller, but maybe we can get you in here. Can you fix this, please?
That's my favorite thing, actually. It's like with we used to actually brand it CPR.
CPR, loan CPR?
Yeah, we'd be rescuing these deals. So
there you go. Dr. Mack.
That's it.
All right, well, when we come back, we're going to be talking about a special program that enables people to buy their next home before they sell their current home.
Realtors who care. I know it's a cheesy phrase, but it's true. You want to work with someone who cares about you, the needs of your family, and who's going to get you the most money for your home in the shortest amount of time. That's who you get with Johnny Jennings and his entire team at Made for More Realty. And listen to this. You can get at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. You don't have to do repairs or staging or open houses. Just at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. It's simple, it's easy, it's not complicated. What do you got to lose? If you're curious what kind of offers you would get on your home, just reach out to Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Hey, there's a reason why they have over 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Don't take our word for it. Go check them out for yourself. Johnny Jennings, Made for More Realty, where you get more for your home.